Hey guys, hope you're all doing fine. Welcome to another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about wide triangle pattern of asterisks. So a wide triangle is basically a triangle where the other two edges, apart from the longest edge, forms a 90-degree angle. So you can see this is a 90-degree angle, and this is the longest edge in the triangle. So the other two edges form a 90-degree angle. So the problem is that we would take an integer number as input, suppose that is n, and whatever the input is, say 5, so we're going to be printing out n number of asterisks in such a pattern that the number of asterisks from row to row increases by 1. So suppose we're going to start with just one asterisk in the first row, then in the second row it increases by 1, so 2 asterisks. The third row there is 3 asterisks. So the number of asterisks is gradually increasing. So the number of asterisks in a particular row, if it is not the first one, has one more asterisk than the previous row. And you can see here that this type of printing is actually representing a wide triangle type of shape. So that is why this is called wide triangle pattern. So the first thing that might come to mind is that we can use a nested for loop. So the outer loop of the nested for loop would represent the row index, and the inner loop would represent the column index. But there are many other ways of solving this problem. We can just use a string to solve this problem. Like at the start of the string, there would be only one asterisk, right? Only one asterisk, since the first row has only one asterisk. And in each row, as we go from row to row, we're going to be adding an extra asterisk to the string and printing that out. And this will go on until n rows are completed. So the nth row would have n asterisks. So let's see this in code. We're going to be taking an input, and let's say that variable is n. So, and we can call this function wide triangle pattern, and that would take that variable n as the input. Let's just define the function. So wide triangle pattern. Just check if I have spelled it right. No, I haven't. Have I? Wide triangle pattern. Okay, it's fine. So as I said, we're going to be starting string with just one asterisk for the first row. So let's just call that current row, and we're going to be looping through from 1 till n. So current string, sorry, it will be the current row plus equals asterisk, because for each row the number of asterisks would be increasing, but before that, of course, we have to print whatever the string is. So current row and that and the line, and that is it for this problem. And let's just run the problem. take an input of 7, and there you go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 rows. So that is pretty much it for this type of pattern. And basically, in case of the white triangle pattern, there can be a reverse white triangle pattern like this one. So this is completely different from the first one. And here the first row would have n asterisks, the second would have n minus 1, and in the nth row there would be only one asterisk. So the number of asterisks would decrease from n to 1 through the n rows. And for this problem, like the previous one, I'm going to be using a string, of course. And initially, the number of asterisks in the string would be n asterisks, since the first row would contain n asterisks. And what I'm going to do is, after putting in n asterisks in the string, I would print that out as the first row. And for the other rows, I'm going to be decrementing the number of asterisks in the string. So I'm going to be removing one asterisk each time, and until the string would contain no asterisks, the while loop would just go on and print the current string. So I'm going to print the current string and decrease the number of asterisks for the next row if it exists. So let's get to the code. Like the previous one, we're going to take an input, that is of course the number of rows, and let's just call the function white pattern. Of course, this is the void function, just like the previous one. And initially, we're going to have an empty string. Let's call it current row once again. And now we need to construct the first row. And the first row would, of course, contain n asterisks. And while printing out the first row, I'm going to be putting in the asterisks that are necessary in the string so that I can use that string later on. And as I move from one row to the other, I'm going to decrement the number of asterisks by 1 in the string and print the string out. So let's just put in n asterisks into the string, and in the process I'm going to be, for each asterisk that I put in the string, I'm going to be printing out that one asterisk as one particular column of the first row. So current row plus equals asterisk and print out one particular column. And I cannot use end line over here because I need to print out n asterisks, and that will be the first row. So once I'm done with this for loop, then I'm going to be putting in an end line at the end. So this is the first row, and at the end of the first row, the current row would have n asterisks, and we would be decreasing the value for the other rows. And at the end of the first row, as I said, just end the line. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be first printing out the current row, the string, and then I'm going to be decreasing the number of asterisks in the string. So I'm going to be removing one asterisk each time. So first I'm going to print and then remove. So for the second row, there has to be n minus 1 asterisk. Because I'm printing it first, I first need to remove one of the asterisks for the second row. If you don't understand, just rewind the video, and I'm sure you would. So current row is it is the last character. So current row dot length -1, and it's only one character, and that is this one second parameter. So the current row is now ready for the second row. Now I'm going to go through the while loop. So while current row has at least one asterisk, meaning current row not being empty, I would be printing out current row string. And I'm going to decrement the number of asterisks for the next row if it exists. And of course I need to include the string header. Let's take an import like 7, and there you go, guys. There you go. There's 7 rows, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the number of asterisks in each row is from n till 1. It just decreases by 1 from one row to the other. So that is pretty much it for the right triangle pattern of asterisks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you have enjoyed this video by just a little bit even, then subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.